Somewhere right now, a robot is pouring the walls of a house, and it will be done, start to finish, before your next coffee run on a Saturday. Here's the part nobody's talking about. That house is going to cost less than the one your parents bought 30 years ago. Not because the land is cheaper. Not because labor got a discount. Because AI just quietly rewired the entire math of how a home gets built. For 100 years, the price of a house has gone one direction, up. Materials, labor, permits, waste, all of it stacked on top of the last decade's price. Homebuyers have been told to just accept it. Save longer, settle for less space, move further out. But in 2026, that assumption is breaking. AI-designed floor plans are cutting wasted material before a single brick is laid. Robotic and 3D printed construction is slashing the single biggest cost in any build, labor hours. And predictive supply chains are killing the price spikes that used to blow budgets apart mid-project. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how AI is taking cost out of a house at every single stage: design, materials, construction, and delivery, and why the homes coming out the other end are cheaper, not more expensive. If you've ever felt priced out of owning a home, stay with me, because this changes the timeline. Quick housekeeping before we dive in: this isn't a someday, maybe story. AI-optimized homes are already being built and sold today, and the cost differences are measurable. We're going to break this down into 4 places AI is cutting cost out of a home: design, construction, materials, and delivery. Then look at what that actually means for a buyer. Here's where the savings actually start, before construction even begins. Traditional home design leans on standard templates, rules of thumb, and a lot of guesswork about how much material a build will actually need. That guesswork almost always errs on the side of order extra, and extra material is money left on the table. Generative design AI flips that. You feed it the lot size, the local building codes, the climate, and the budget, and it runs through thousands of structural layouts to find the one that uses the least material for the same square footage and the same strength. It's the same logic aerospace engineers use to design lighter airplane parts, just pointed at a house instead of a wing. The result is a floor plan that's been optimized down to the stud: fewer structural redundancies, less framing waste, tighter material lists. On a mid-sized home, that kind of optimization alone can shave a meaningful percentage off the total materials bill, before a single crew shows up on site. Labor is the single most expensive line item in building a home, often more than the materials themselves. This is where AI-guided construction makes the biggest dent. 3D printed construction uses a robotic printer arm to lay down a concrete-based mixture layer by layer, following the AI-optimized design exactly, with almost no waste and a fraction of the crew size a traditional build needs. What used to take a full framing crew several weeks can now be handled by a much smaller team overseeing a printer for a few days. It's not just the printer, either. AI-guided robotic arms are increasingly handling repetitive, high-labor tasks: bricklaying, drywall placement, even some finishing work, with a precision that reduces the rework and callbacks that quietly inflate a construction budget. Every rework avoided is a cost that never happens in the first place. Anyone who's built a home knows the real budget killer isn't the plan, it's the surprise. Lumber prices spike mid-project. A supplier runs out of a specific fixture. A delay cascades into weeks of paid, idle crew time. AI-driven supply chain forecasting is closing that gap. By tracking material prices, supplier inventory, and shipping timelines in real time, builders can lock in materials before a price spike hits, or substitute a comparable material automatically instead of stalling the whole project. Fewer surprises mean fewer emergency decisions made at the worst possible price. Put design efficiency, labor automation, and supply chain forecasting together, and you get a home that costs meaningfully less to build than the same home built the traditional way, without cutting square footage or using lower-grade materials. That gap is exactly why AI-built and AI-optimized homes are starting to show up on the market at prices that undercut comparable traditional builds in the same area. This doesn't mean every builder is using this today, and it doesn't mean the transition is instant. But the direction is clear: the tools that make homes cheaper to build are already deployed, already proven, and already spreading. The buyers who understand this early are the ones who'll recognize the value the moment it hits their local market. If this changed how you think about buying or investing in a home, hit subscribe. Every week on this channel we break down exactly how AI is reshaping real estate, from pricing to construction to property management, with real numbers and zero hype. Drop a comment, Would you buy a 3D printed or AI-optimized home? I want to see where people actually land on this. That's the real story behind why AI-built homes are cheaper. Not a gimmick, just better math applied to every stage of the build. Next video, we're going inside the world's first fully AI-managed apartment building. You'll want to see who's actually running the place.